Hey, let's take a look at problem number 15. First thing we want to do is want to get all the variables on the same side. So we're going to subtract u from both sides. So then I'm going to get 21u squared minus u equals 10. Now, I can't have a coefficient to complete the square with in front of u squared. So I divide everything in front of u squared, which is 21. So then we get u squared minus 1 over 21u, I'll leave a space, equals 10 over 21. This is where completing the square can be kind of monotonous and detail-oriented, because now our coefficient of u is negative 1 over 21. So to complete the square, I have to take half of negative 1 over 21 and square that. Well, half of negative 1 over 21 is negative 1 over 42. If I square that, 42 squared is 1764. So I get 1 over 1764. So I'll add 1 over 1764 to both sides. Now I'm going to factor that left-hand side because I made it a perfect square by adding 1 over 1764. That's u minus 1 over 42, because the square root of 1764 is 1 over 42. Now I got to combine my fractions here, but notice I have a common denominator. 21 goes into 1764 84 times. So I'm going to rewrite this as 1764. I'll take 84 over 84 for my fraction. So I'm going to get 840 plus 1 all over my common denominator of 1764. Or I'll say u minus 1 over 42 squared equals 841 over 1764. One thing I want to emphasize here is I want exact answers, no rounding. So I don't want you to write these as a decimal. So now I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and I'll write that over here in a different color so we can see it. So we get u, whoops, I do want my pen though, u minus 1 over 42 equals plus or minus, well, the square root of 841 is 29. And the square root of 1764, I already know, is 42. So to solve this, I'm going to add 1 over 42 to both sides. So u equals 1 over 42 plus or minus 29 over 42. I think I'll do these separately so you can see how this works out. So I'm going to say u equals 1 over 42 plus 29 over 42. Well, 1 plus 29 is 30 over 42. And notice 6 goes into both of these, so we get 5 over 7. Then if I do u equals 1 over 42 minus 29 over 42, I'll get negative 28 over 42. Well, 14 goes into both of those, so I'll get negative 2/3. Kind of ran out of room here. So u equals 5/7 or negative 2/3. And there's your answer for question number 15. Let's take a look at number 16. Now in 16, let's distribute that negative sign inside my problem first. So then we're going to get negative 2x squared equals negative 5x minus 4. We want all the x's on one side, So we'll add 5x to both sides. So our problem becomes negative 2x squared plus 5x equals, let's leave a little space there because I want to complete the square. So equals, and we'll go negative 4. Guess I didn't need to do that because I have to divide by negative 2 because of that x. And got to get rid of that negative 2 in front of x squared. So we're going to get x squared minus 5 halves x equals positive 4. Now we're going to go through our steps again. I'm going to take half of negative 5 halves. And I'm going to square that. So I'm going to get negative 5 over 4. I'll square that. I'll get 25 over 16. So I'll add 25 over 16 to both sides. Now, let's factor. So I'm going to get x minus 5 over 4 squared. Well, my denominator is 16, isn't it? So I got to take 4. Did I divide by 2? No, I didn't. Sorry about that. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is a positive 2. Almost made a...
We are sucking.
32 plus 25 over 16. So then we're going to get x minus 5 over 4 equals 57 over 16. Now we're going to take the square root of both sides. So x minus 5 over 4. Now, unlike the last one, I can't take the square root of 57, can I? Okay, so it's just the square root of 57 over 4. So finally, to add this, we'll add 5 over 4 to both sides. So our answer is going to be x equals 5 over 4 plus or minus the square root of 57 over 4. Notice I have a common denominator, so I could write it as 5 plus or minus the square root of 57 all over 4. And there's our answer.